Hi guys, it's Bletilla here. I wanted to do a video on my Bletilla striata. Now I have not done many videos on this plant. I actually got her from my mom, who got it from her friend, and her friend grows this orchid in the ground. And at first I wasn't too sure about this orchid just because it's from my mom and she's not sure how to grow it. But her friend told her that it would just grow in the ground, and that's what she did for her orchid. She did, however, has them separated or divided now. She likes them in smaller pots, but I think I prefer them in bigger pots. So last year my mom was able to rebloom it, and this year I was able to rebloom it. So I wanted to just show you guys this. So this is called the Bletilla striata. It is also referred to as the Chinese ground orchid. And you can see that it has little ruffles on its lip. And it's really cute. It has bloomed for me a lot earlier than I expected. So I wanted to just talk a little bit about this little girl. She is a terrestrial orchid, and as I mentioned before, she's also called the Chinese orchid or the hardy orchid. And this guy is, or this gal, I'm going back and forth, is actually really hardy. So here in zone 9B, lots of people grow them in the ground, and they're perfectly fine. They can go down to about 25 degrees Fahrenheit, which is actually really low. I can't even go down that low and survive, but they can. And if it's anything lower, then if you grow them in the ground, you just put mulch on top of them, very thick mulch, and they would be able to survive. So what happens is in the spring, or before spring. Our spring comes a little bit later. But before spring, right around this time, they should put out new growths. And usually the new growths also come with the flower spike. But kind of like the zygopetalum, but the zygos have the flower spikes on the side, and this one has the flower spike in between the new growths. And these little girls have tubers, or as you can call them, corms, at the bottom underneath all the dirt or all of the media. And what happens is in the spring, the growths come up, then they bloom probably around March or April. Mine is blooming a lot earlier than expected, and some of them have already bloomed for a while. So mine actually started blooming probably about 2 weeks ago or more. And then throughout the summer and fall, the leaves stay for the most of the year. And then around winter, all the leaves drop, they die off, and all you get left is the corms or the tubers down at the bottom. And that's when you decrease watering. So I would water once every week rather than once every day, which is what I did in the summer because it gets dried out really quickly. And then I get seed pods. So I got quite a bit of seed pods last year. My seed pods, some of them are harvested already, and most of them I didn't harvest. But I had quite a bit of seed pods. This one has already opened, and I will show you guys what it looks like. I have 3 more on the other plant, but if I could pull it out for you. That's my stinky face. That's my, like, I'm using all my strength face. Okay, so this one, the seeds are already starting to fly out. I don't know if you can see that or not. So some of the seed, it's already cracked, and some of the seeds are already flying out. Let me just open it for you. So if you have worked with orchid seeds, you know that they're like, if you sneeze or even if you breathe, they'll seriously fly away. And there are just a ton of seeds in this one. Let me try to focus. No. Okay, so there's just a ton of seeds in here, and the great thing about these Bletilla striata seed pods is that you actually don't need to grow them in vitro. So you can actually grow them. I mean, you would still have to sterilize your media, but you can actually grow them exposed to air, so they're not in a sterilized environment the entire time that they're there. And I tried doing that last year with one of mine, but I forgot to water on some days, and that didn't work well, so they all died. Anyway, but that is the case. So what I've done, what I just did was pour the seeds in just onto the media, and if they grow, then they'll grow. If they don't, then, you know, I'll still have the parent plant. So I'm not too worried about it. I'm not going to be growing a bunch from seeds because they do take a while to grow. Now, these plants, the Bletilla striata, are sold at a very, very low price. So it's easy to acquire. They're so hardy that it's very cheap to buy them. I have, like, this pot, they grew out of this pot already, and I divided it last year. I don't think I will divide it this year, and I don't think I will repot it, but I have it in a mixture of about 50% bark and 50% peat moss. I am not a big fan of peat moss because it holds a lot of water. But because these are terrestrial orchids, I decided that I was just going to go ahead and pot it in peat moss. And you can see, look at all these seeds. There's like a ton of seeds. These are from like 3 seed pots that I just broke up, and I poured it in there. My other one, here's my other one. There are more seed pods in here. Unfortunately, they've started to open up, so there really is no way for me to like harvest them and send them to people. This one seems to have a lot less flowers on them and more seed pods. So look, there's like grass growing in there. I really need to weed, but you can see, look here. So this is the old growth. It's died off, and I probably should cut it, clean it up. So that's the new growth. I'm sorry, this is the old growth, and that's the new growth right here, and it will probably at some point develop a flower spike inside of that. At about this high, it will probably develop the flower spike when it's this tall. And that's pretty much all. I mean, you can dig out the corms if you want, but I just leave the corms in there.
Okay, so here are the seed pots. Some of them, I think this one's open as well. It cracked, so you can see it's cracked right there. I didn't harvest any of it because it takes so long for them to grow, and also a lot of them die off and they require quite a bit of care. So this is an old growth from last year. It's completely died off, and I should cut it off as well. And here are the seeds that I scattered out here. I didn't want to throw it away, but most of them are not going to survive as well, just because I'm not really giving them a lot of care. So if they want to grow, then they'll grow. If not, then that's fine as well. Here are some new growths. They tend to grow on the edges, and I think it's because the older corms are in the middle here, and then the newer corms tend to grow outwards towards the edges. And let's see, so here is a new growth, And here is the flower spike inside the new growth here. It will bloom in about a week or so. And here are some of the other blooms. So you can see the ruffling in there. That's super adorable. I really like the ruffling on the lip. So there it is. Super cute. I really like this orchid, and I think that it doesn't matter if it's like really cheap and very easily acquired, but I still like it, and it requires so little work compared to a lot of other orchids. It doesn't get all sickly when it's cold. It's just very hardy, and I like my hardy orchids like that. So that's pretty much all. Thanks for watching, everyone. I will see you next time.